feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright. Echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Back again. Like I said yesterday, I would be on at an early time. Well, early in the morning for some of you. I guess I was still correct, even though I am late. I am late. Unfortunately, I got caught up doing something today that I could not get out of. So we're on it. We're on in the evening Australian time. So I thought we'd check in where this manhunt is going. So let me get set up and I will show you some of what's been going on. Doesn't look like we've found the person, although today we do know more. We know a little bit more about who this was, how they got there, and exactly what was going on during that shooting, including what was going on before the shooting, which, if you ask me, I think that's probably the most interesting bit of video that we've had today, is the suspect going to the scene and then leaving it, and the sort of path he took. Part of it was he just walked down the street near the university, and then on the way back, though, he was hiding out behind the street, behind the houses, in this looked like a field. And it looked like a field behind people's homes, and he was like, you could tell he was trying to hide. One of the interesting things, though, is when he tried to get off the roof as well, he jumped almost from like that first story, maybe a bit higher. Somehow landed the landed the fall. Surprised he didn't break his legs in that fall. That's pretty brutal. Let me see if I can grab that video. Yeah, let me see if I can grab this the FBI video that everyone's been playing. It is here. This is on where he jumps off the roof. So you can kind of see him. Let me mute this. You can kind of see him. There he is. And this is where he jumps off that roof. It's a pretty big jump. He gets down a little bit and then he drops. I'm surprised he didn't break his legs doing that, but I mean, I guess there was grass underneath. I mean, then he's off. Within minutes of the shooting, this suspect has made it down from the roof, across the parking lot, and then starts meandering down the road. When there's people driving past, like, no one is really that concerned. And then he just sort of walks away. It is very interesting. One of the other shots that they had of him today showed him with what looked like the gun down his pants leg. So when he was walking away from the house, down the street, it looked like he was had a gun inside of his pants leg, and he was sort of limping. Limping's not like the word I would sort of use, but his gait was affected by having that rifle down the pants leg, and it sort of gave him that very obscure sort of way of walking. All right, here. Is this the right one? Yep. Yeah, I'm going to play you an update from our friends at the ABC in Australia, and it shows you Charlie Kirk's casket arriving in Arizona. That was the other big thing that sort of happened today, was he is on his way to his funeral. His funeral expected to take place next week. Here we go.
Carried home by the Vice President of the United States. Social media influencer Charlie Kirk given a rare honor. His casket escorted from Utah by J.D. Vance aboard Air Force Two. Back to his family's home state of Arizona. Kirk's widow, Erica, joining him for a final trip home.
I spoke to Erica, his wife, and we had a long talk, and she's devastated. She is absolutely devastated, as you can imagine.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
There's been a shooting at the Charlie Kirk event.
Police are still hunting the man they say shot the 31-year-old right-wing influencer while he spoke at a Utah university. The FBI have released new CCTV of the suspect on the roof of the university right after the shooting.
He's going to climb off the edge and then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges, some places we're looking to collect DNA.
The FBI says he ran into a wooded area, ditching a high-powered bolt-action rifle.
So the FBI laboratory will be analyzing this weapon.
Police have offered a $100,000 reward for more information. Armed law enforcement are searching suburbia, going door to door.
Okay, have you guys seen anything? Anyone run by? Anything suspicious?
Not here, no. We were at the event.
Even
There you go. There's a bit of that close-up of the person they are looking for. Let me go back. There is the sort of best photo they have right now of the suspect. You would think someone would know who this might be, being that maybe from the local area, maybe lives nearby since they walked to the shooting and then away. Maybe they had a car, hidden somewhere. But here's this other footage. I'll take it from here and I'll show it to you. Now, where the arrow is, you guys can see him. He walks down this street on the way to the shooting. And then on the way back, he's behind these set of houses. And it's odd. It's like, well, if you were going to try to be incognito going to the event, why would you walk in front of everyone's cameras instead of taking that back way that you took on the way back? But instead you walk down the street where everyone has a like CCTV or a ring doorbell. I find that an interesting choice. By the way, Woman of Steel said he left the rifle. Yeah, there's a shot. I think it's before the shooting. You can see it in his pants leg, and he's got like the rifle down in his down under his belt, and you can see it inside of the pants leg because it puts out that impression in his clothing. So you can see it. All right, I'll play this little bit of video. This is from TMZ. TMZ were the one to break this one. So I'm not going to play the audio with it, but I'll let you watch it. And he's sort of like, there you go. See how he's sort of hobbling? And they believe that's because he's got that rifle in his clothing. Sort of meandering. Meandering is the word I'm going to use. There you go. Hobbling down the street with that gun in his pants, apparently. And then on the way back, that's him right at the back of the homes there. And then there's like another dude just walking past. So interesting to me that they were just like, yeah, sure. There you go. You can kind of see. I think it's very interesting. Let's go back. There, up in that back, where the arrow was. So, interesting choice to take the route in front of the cameras and on the way back, try and hide out the back when they probably already saw you already. So, I find that strange. He didn't care about being seen at all. Well, if that was true, why go to the effort of going out the back? And why not just walk down the street again? So, I think he did care. Odd though. I hate mornings. Hey, how are you? All right, you go back to sleep. All right, have fun. Brazen. He is a little bit brazen. Hey, Kat, good to see you, my friend. Woman of Steel said, can you imagine losing your young husband like that? I mean, it's pretty horrific. I mean, not just the whole like losing someone at that age with a family. I think it's the dramatic sort of on camera nature of it and how many people saw it. It's almost like a public execution. It's almost like you had all these people in an amphitheater and they were there for the show. The show didn't end up being him debating people or answering questions. It ended up being his death. So his death was almost like the centerpiece of this killer's very sick and twisted show in that campus. So it was almost like a very sick game of almost like Saw. So it's like, you've seen the Saw movies. Well, in this one, Charlie got shot from, 200 yards away off a roof. But everyone watching getting to see this very sick version of the killer's game show. He's the only one with the correct answers. And he fired and killed Charlie. Like, it's just brutal. I mean, I'm sure most of you have seen the footage by now. If you haven't, I wouldn't go and watch it if you don't need to. It's brutal. Like, it's just some of the most horrific footage. I've watched a lot of footage online over my time, doing true crime and things like that. I saw a guy get eaten alive by a shark, but this was just graphic, horrific, horrible. Woman still said he walked in the building right up the stairwell. I know, they're just hopping up on top of a roof. Very strange. Warner still said run for, yeah, he did. But then why did he hide going back the other way? I don't understand that. Was it to avoid capture or to avoid being seen by the cameras, or what was it then? It would be interesting to know. Drew, hey Drew, good to see you. Good to have you here. So yeah, there you go. What's the update? Where do we stand right now? They are on the hunt for this guy. That is the latest update. Now, I get why people might be a little hesitant to believe anything the FBI says right now. They have either detained, arrested, or, brought in several people now and been like, we've done it. We've solved it. We have solved it. We have caught the guy. we've done it. Congratulations, everyone. And it ends up being that they release them a few hours later. So we would need to wait for confirmation when the next time they say we've got him. We're gonna have to really make sure next time. Marylander said it reminds me of Butler, PA, the guy on the roof. Yeah, it does a bit, right? It does. All right, let me go here. Apparently, they had a bunch of different memorials tonight. A lot of people leaving flowers and tributes and things like that. Kash Patel did a press conference today and answered nothing. Just went there just to, to hang out, I guess. I don't know why he was there. Probably just to look cool or something. Here he is. Kash Patel. What is he doing? Not much. Hanging out. Just looking pretty. Yeah. What are they saying here? So the FBI director, that's Kash Patel, flew to Utah for the briefing, but did not take questions or address the public. Well, he's probably not allowed to say anything after yesterday. After yesterday, he posted on Twitter saying they caught the guy. He may not be allowed to talk anymore. He is a former MAGA podcaster and current spy chief, has come under increasing scrutiny over the blunders at the Bureau in the aftermath of the brutal killing at the Utah Valley University. Yeah, in the hours after the murder, Patel wrongly said a suspect was in custody while critics have blasted him for gutting the FBI's leadership in Salt Lake City. Yeah, an interesting thing that came out not long after Charlie was shot. There was information that came out that in Salt Lake City, they had just fired one of their biggest sort of manhunters that worked there that was well known for tracking down suspects, and they just sort of fired them and let them go. And then a few weeks later, this happened. Warner still said, don't you think someone picked him up off the street? It could have been, or he had a vehicle hiding. Maybe he had a vehicle stashed in a location. Could be. I hate Morningside. It's horrible, those kids and wife plus the hate. It's frustrating the amazing woman that was the head of the Utah FBI was fired not long ago. Instead, we have an incompetent leadership in the FBI. I agree. Marylander says, yes, blundering it. It is a bit blundering. DJ says, listening while having my coffee. Hey, DJ, good to see you. Glad I could be here this morning to hang out with you all. Yeah, I think the hate online, it's very sad to see people act that way. I get it though. There's a lot of people that don't like what he was preaching. There's a lot of people who don't like what he was standing for. I understand that. I don't agree with a lot of what he has to say, but at the same time, I don't like to see people being killed for having an opinion or, running whatever he was doing. We could all be killed for that. I mean, maybe he's louder than other people, right? But you could do the same thing. You could make a group and go tour and say whatever your perspective on the world is or political stuff. That's your right. You could do the same thing. Maybe someone doesn't like what you have to say. Should they shoot you too? Should they annihilate you in front of your audience and then get all your, people online to make fun of you? I don't think that's the right way our world should be going. I think that's, you know, I liken it to it's the next step in this evolution that people are just going to walk into work every day and just shoot their boss because they don't like that their boss has been mean to them. I mean, it's not that many degrees of separation from the two ideas. It's really not. And that's pretty crap, right? It's similar. So I hope we don't see that. Drew said you can't cheer someone's death even if you don't agree with them. Right. I think you can understand that he was a human, he had a family, and there's two children with a mom that's not going to see their dad or their husband ever again. That's pretty shit. And to happen on US soil, I think that's, you know. The other thing I'd like to talk about today is it is 9/11. It's the anniversary of 9/11. It's a day I take very seriously as someone who grew up and was quite young at the time of 9/11. I was 16 years old when it was 9/11. I was watching on CNN in Australia, and it changed the world around us. So it really did. It changed Australia, changed America, changed many other countries as well. And some of the images that we saw that day on 9/11 still haunt me every day. I'm sure you have all seen the falling man photo. That photo sticks in my brain for years. Like, I think we'd all love to know who the falling man is and try and give his family some peace. At the moment, there's a couple of families who think that is their family member, and it would be nice to maybe one day know who for sure it is to be able to sort of give their family some comfort. It's really, really horrible. Uh, yeah, this is true. Kat says the world is very scary and volatile right now. I mean, it is. Do you think the right now is more crazy in the world, or do you think we lived under more fear when there was all the terrorist attacks going on? Like when we didn't know if you caught a train to work, they were going to blow up the train and kill 200 people on the train, like in London, or if they were going to raid a city like they did in Mumbai or in Bali, where they blew up a club filled with tourists, or like on 9/11, like today, where they killed hundreds of people and took out a city really for many weeks while they recovered, if not years. So I think now is volatile, but I think we've been through some harder things, and as long as we all put our heads together and we sort of work together, we can get through it. just like we got through these other challenges that our society had, like the terrorist attacks that sort of were plaguing our countries around the world at one point. So I think we can do it, but we got to be more bipartisan. Got to like find bridges, even if we don't agree on everything. Got to find bridges to each other, and we're stronger as countries when we're united. We really are. I know it's some bullshit that politicians like to say, but in the real world, we are. When you can fight hand in hand with your neighbor against a common enemy, that's much better than being fragmented, you know, in small little like factions everywhere, and all got different ideals and want all different things. So I think if we can do it together, it's much better. Ozzy said, I let my 11-year-old stay home to watch. I knew it was changing the world. I also turned to him to say, you know how I said the Air Force is a good career? Cancel that. The Air Force copped to hiding that day because they didn't know what was going on. Warner still said, I remember 9/11 every year. I'll never forget, but I never forget Charlie either. Well, yes, this is true, but he's been gone 24 hours. I'm sure there'll be memorials every year for him. Ozzy said, depending on where you live, my mate grew up on the border of Northern Ireland and ran a gauntlet. Yeah, they had some, Catholic and Protestant, and they had the IRA and crazy stuff like that. They had some pretty bad years over there in the 70s and 80s and 90s and, well, the 2000s, and today they've had some pretty bad ones. But I wanted to show you something from 9/11 just while we have a break on Charlie for a minute. I wanted to show you something. This is really cool. Where is it? 9/11. I wanted to show you what I do every year on 9/11. And for me, it takes me back to sort of that time because you don't see this anymore. And it's this. I go back and I read these. And what is this? Well, these came out in 2009. So many years after, many years after 2001. And what they are, they're pager messages. And I read them because I don't know why, for me, they take me back to that period of time. You see like little bits of like the technology mentioned in parts of them and like stuff we don't have today. And it really sort of flashes me back. It does, to that time period. And you see like all these servers are down after the attacks. And if we go back even further, you'll see messages from loved ones asking like, hey, contact me, hey, we haven't heard from you, where are you? Let me see if I can find one. They go for I think a couple of days after the attacks. Yeah, these ones are just like disk utilization. Let me go back earlier in, is it this one? Let me have a quick look. There's one where you start seeing people looking for their loved ones. Yeah, like I don't know if this is it, but you can see here. Someone messaged someone and said, if you're awake and want to talk, give me a call. I have a feeling maybe you're maybe a little stressed. There you go. They were trying to de-stress their friend. Someone getting their horoscope apparently to their pager, talking about Sagittarius people. Let's see, an outage on Verizon. Apparently they had a fire in New York. Let's see what else we've got. I want to go back down to 9. So this is 2. No, we want to go to like 9 a.m. Yeah, let's go here. Oh, we have to go all really far back. All right. 7, 8, 8:55. That's what we want. Let's see if we can find it. This is a test period page. Okay. Yeah. Someone saying, what is going on? Is WFC okay? This is like around 8:55 a.m. in the morning. And this guy here says, Club Night, Damien. He says, Did you want to put it in on the club, right? I don't know what that means, but let's see what else we've got. Other people talking about work. Breaking news. World Trade Center damaged. Unconfirmed reports say a plane has crashed into a tower. Details to come. And they said, what else have we got? So this is right around when the planes crashed. Well, the first one did. So yeah, if you scroll through these, you get all these messages, and you sort of have to scroll quite a bit to get to the yeah. World Trade Center damaged. Unconfirmed reports say a plane has crashed into the tower. Yeah, an aircraft of unknown origin has hit the World Trade Center in New York. CNN has live pictures, according to Joe. Joe was texting someone on a pager, and you see all these different updates. And then if we go further down, they start warning people about like what's going on. Let's see if we can find some for you. Someone asking about their faucet, apparently. Yeah, so a guy is messaging someone saying, Dave, just an update. A plane has crashed into the World Trade Center. We have no further info, according to Ben. Ben says they know about the plane, but they don't have any further info. What else do they have? Just Dave, just an update. So Dave's very popular. A plane has crashed into the World Trade Center, and we have no further info. So this, let me go further down. Let's go further. Yeah. Plane crash into World Trade Center. Our staff at 5 WTC, 5 World Trade Center, is presently recorded safe. Details to follow. They're saying call the internal number with more information. So they were like saying that their staff seemed to be okay right then. And what else they got here? Yeah, an American airline plane crashed into one of the World Trade Center towers. It is now stuck in the building, and also over 100 people are estimated to have perished. There is smoke around one of the towers. Another one here, report of explosion and/or fire. Will update further info is received, according to someone at the comm center. So yeah, you see all these updates, and as you go through the day, one of the saddest things is you see these people looking at like looking for family members, and they're like, oh, if you honey, if you see this message, there's been an explosion at the trade center, please call me, I need to know you're okay. And you'll see the same number pop up again, and they'll say, hey, I'm getting really worried now, we haven't heard from you in 2 hours. And then the towers, have gone down, and they're still messaging through the day, Jill, I'm really worried now. You really need to call us. Are you okay? Did you get out of the tower? It's really heartbreaking to hear, because you don't know if these people ever made it home. And I read through these every year to just, I don't know, just go back in time a little bit. Some of the documentaries are very good, like the ones on National Geographic, but for some reason, this is what does it for me every year. I go back and I watch it. I go back and I read it. I just, yeah, it just allows me to sort of go back in time a little bit. And they say here, husband, they believe a plane hit the top of the World Trade Center in New York. It's really bad. Love. They say reports indicate that AAL 11 B767, after initial hijacking on flight from Boston to LAX, has crashed into the side of the World Trade Center in New York. And you're starting to see a lot more of this details coming through as it goes on. And you see more of them pop up. FlashNet, Intel Center, plane crashes into the World Trade Center. Let's see if we can go further up a bit in time. Let's go up to like 11 a.m. And there's hundreds of pages of these. What else have we got here? Here. The only thoughts I have are of Nicholas, Ian, and you. I am terrified. I needed to tell you that I truly love you always, Diane. I don't know if Diane ever got out. I don't know if she ever made it home. I hope she did. I have no idea. And what do they say here? They say, morning, just got up and I'm watching this crazy stuff on the terrace. Another one here says, everything is okay now. Anything happen, we'll go get the kids. Kim. So Kim's saying to her husband, I'll go get the children if I have to. What else do we have? Here, the EOC is on standby. Are you involved? Should we postpone our training to next week? A very detail-orientated person that didn't want to give up their training after a building collapsed, apparently. What else have we got? A lot of like random dial-in numbers. Here, Jeff says, okay, just to let you know, I am okay. And then it cuts off. But Jeff was trying to tell someone that he was okay. And you see all these different things here as we go through. Let's see if we can find another one. Yeah, please call Joyce Fogel at home. Joyce wants to know if people are okay. What else have we got? See if we could find anyone else trying to call home. Yeah, good thing you made it home last night. Nothing flying today. So someone who flew the night before, that's very lucky that they did not go the next day. Apparently, this one says no one is to get on a plane without talking. I hope they wouldn't get on a plane. They say TQM meeting has been cancelled for today. I hope it was cancelled because the building's not there anymore. What else do they say? Just meetings cancelled. Here, Susan says, please call your son on his cell phone. That's it. Please call your son on his cell phone. So a lot of people trying to get in touch with people, try and see if people are okay, try to find out what the hell's going on. This person here, a United Air flight just crashed at Camp David. So now we have 2 hijacked planes that took down the Trade Center, plane down at Pentagon, fire near the West Wing, and a car bomb in front of the State Department in DC. Some misinformation early on in the day, apparently. Conflicting reports on the car bomb at the state capitol. It said that it did not occur. There you go. Misinformation corrected very quickly. This person says, rent a car and drive to Atlanta as soon as possible. Have spoken to Mike. Hurry, or all cars may be rented. Yeah, drive to Atlanta. Don't be in New York City. Hurry up and get a car before they all disappear. So these are what I go back and read here. Hi, it is awful here. Kathy Dunn Hall's brother is on a flight on the East Coast. Very tense, but we are still functioning. The terrorists aren't going to stop us. I just had a thought. We are at an air... And then it cuts off, unfortunately, but that lady sounded very determined. Sachin and Ernie says, no need to come to the office today. Downtown is being evacuated. Sorry, do the best you can. Let everyone aware that we have a call being made now as to what buildings will close. Get issues from team, and we'll put the team back. So someone trying to organize their staff with this shutdown of the city. So I will put the link in chat if you'd like to go read these. There's hundreds and thousands of messages. These were released on WikiLeaks in 2009. And for me on 9/11, this is what I always go and read. I don't know what it is. It's like a portal back to 2001. You hear a lot of like phrases, and you see a lot of like technology that's not used anymore in these messages, server information and Verizon stuff. Verizon's like, you can get your Nokia 3810 for only $20 a month with no down payment. And you're like, they don't even make that phone anymore. So just little weird things like that in the messages. Yeah, let's go a little further. I'm pretty sure if we go further into the night, you'll see people still trying to get in contact with their loved ones at like 10 o'clock at night, which is just awful. Let me see if I can find a couple for you. Although I'm not sure what's going on here. Metrocall was telling people during 9/11, tired of being overwhelmed by your bills, feeling as if there is nothing you can do. So they were trying to get people bill relief during 9/11. Let's see. Any of these people? Here. Okay, I'm okay. Made it home finally. Ilana. So Ilana made it home. That's really cool to see someone make it home and not, be missing. But if you do go through these, you do see a lot of people who obviously never made it home, and you see like messages to their pager. People constantly trying to contact them throughout the night, even like 2 a.m. in the morning. They're like, "Did you get out? Where are you? Did you find your pager? You haven't come home." And that's horrific to read. These people that never made it home. It's really gross. Here, what's this one? Glad we spent time together tonight. Definitely needed that. Made me feel good today. You didn't want me flying. Perhaps taking job too seriously right now. Sometimes I don't think I love you is enough for how I feel. There you go. Someone getting some messages to someone that they love. Let's see. Can we find any more? Yeah, this person says, I am leaving. See you in the AM. Okay, see you in the AM. Who else do we have? A lot of random things here. Just trying to see if we can get any of the other sort of. This what we're looking at right now is like 10 o'clock at night. Almost like 14 hours after the plane hit the World Trade Center. So it's quite late at night. Yeah, I'm not seeing too much on this one, but yeah, if you go through it, you'll see them, and yeah, they're very sad. A lot of them are very sad, especially when you see people that probably obviously never made it home. I think that's, really not nice. Hey, Gracie, how are you? You're off back to knitting your poncho? Hope they find the guy who did it. Yeah, I hope they find him too. I hope it doesn't get out of hand either. Okay. Yes. Anti whatever. Sure. You can have your experiment, sir. Knitting photos relaxes me, babe. I don't know what that means. I hope the knitting relaxes you, babe. Hey, Wendy how are you? Good to see you, my friend. So yeah, that is what I like to do on 9/11. Go back through all these pager messages and just, I don't know, just reread them again. I read them every year, and I have done since 2009. But helps us remember, right? Helps us remember. It's getting so far from the event now. What is it? 2025 happened in 2001. It's been 24 years. uh, your memories fade a bit. They get a little murkier as the decades roll on. And while I remember some things from those days, like strong memories, I don't remember everything as sharp as I used to on it. And sort of going through this stuff helps jog some of those feelings and memories from the day. So yeah, if you want to go through it, I think it would be interesting if you've not ever looked at them before. I think it's interesting for you to have a look at. Let's see. Chipmunk says, I love knitting, crocheting, lots of arts and crafts. Are you sure you don't love farts and arts? You might. You might. Your phone wrote that? I am not. I'm not believing you. I don't believe you. That knitting photo relaxes me, babe. It almost sounds like you have a sexual fascination with knitting, and that you have some sort of sexualized photos of knitting. I want to know, is this some sort of sub genre of, you know, people that love sort of knitting photos? You'll have to let me know. Let's see. Let's see if we got an update for 9/11 today. You know, the one thing that other thing that I love reading about on 9/11 to sort of reminisce and pay respect is the flight where the passengers downed the plane. It's one of the most heroic stories I think we could ever read about people who took sort of like their lives into their own hands. You know, 9/11. It was flight 93, right? Flight 93. And those guys, let's roll. I think that's the greatest phrase out of 9/11 ever. Let's roll. Yeah. There was a good video of it. I think we watched it last year of Todd Beamer. Let me see if I can find it. See if we can find a good one for you. Oh, I'm not sure if I can. That's a shame. Yeah. I'll take you over to this.
And 2 words to think about tonight. Let's roll. Some say those words, spoken by Todd Beamer aboard Flight 93, started the war on terror on American soil, and that put an end to a potential second attack on our nation's capital. His father lived on the First Coast then, and just this week I spoke to him about his son's heroic legacy.
This is Lisa Jefferson, shift supervisor. I understand your plane's been hijacked?
Yes, I'm Todd Beamer. I'm on United Flight 93.
2 words with enormous consequence.
Let's roll.
Immortalized in movies, Todd Beamer fighting back against the terrorists. Flight 93 crashed into a field in Pennsylvania, saving who knows how many lives.
I believe then, I believe now that their target was our nation's Capitol building.
And it was close.
Because at jet speed, the terrorists were only 20 minutes away from reaching their intended target.
Todd's dad, David Beamer, living then in Ponte Vedra.
You know, we have a whole generation now that wasn't born on 9/11.
You know, that's true. I remember a few years ago, there was a generation of children who were born in 2001 after the attack, and they had finished high school. And I was like, really? Has it been that long? 18 years or so? I think that must have been in 2019 or something like 2020. And they had maybe 2019. They had finished school. And that, I don't know why that blew my mind, but so they grew up, they were born, and they went all the way through life, all the way through high school and left high school. And that's how long it had been since 9/11. And it really feels like yesterday if you're one of the people who lived through it. It just feels like time went like that, just instantly. Gracie said, I was about to watch a movie and the house internet is so slow. I'm using my phone for the TV. Pay so much so nothing works in Melbourne. I think the NBN is got problems. Marylander says Shanksville, PA. Shanksville, PA, where they down the plane. I think it's one of the greatest stories. It really is. Todd Beamer. Let me search. Wonder if there was I think there was audio of it somewhere. I would have to try and find it. I don't know if I have it on me, but I know that there was a clip from the call center or his mum. I can't remember which one it is, and they have that. But I'll see if I can find it on something we can use. Let's see. Yeah, is this it? No, that's not it. If I find the clip, I'll post it for you guys. But one of the greatest stories, it really is. Chipmunk said extremely brave people on board that plane. I believe they have one of their watches in the 9/11 memorial. Someone told me last year. They let me see if I can find it. Watch. I think they found his Rolex. They did. Here it is. You know, sometimes the people are gone, but their belongings still stay behind. And there's his watch that's still in the 9/11 memorial. They found it in the wreckage of the plane. There you go. It still looks almost brand new, right? It doesn't look that damaged for the destruction it went through. And there's his card from Oracle, Todd Beamer. Woman of Steel said, it is one of the most heroic stories I've ever heard. I agree. You know, I heard his mum describe how she knew that he would do something, that he wouldn't just stand by and let these people, you know, make the decision for him and everyone else. So he got together with a bunch of other people in the plane and decided that they weren't just going to sit idly and watch what was going to happen, that they were going to do something about it. And they downed the plane, stopped the terrorists from getting to their location that they wanted to hit. And that was it. They did it. Unfortunately, we lost them all that day, but we do get to remember them every year on 9/11. It is truly, truly one of the stories we should repeat every year about 9/11, how Flight 93 was the sort of the one shining light in a very sad way, in that it didn't reach its target. And it was because of the brave people on board that flight. I mean, if you were someone on that plane and you had to make that stand against these people, that's a very, you wouldn't know what to do until you were there, right? And I think we'd all be like, yeah, we do it. But it takes a lot of guts, a lot of bravery to know that you're going to crash this plane to not save yourselves, but to save other people in another location, a location you're not even sure of. So, yeah, I wonder if I can find a better article for you. No. Let me find here. Let's go here. Let's see. Let's go to WKBN 27. It's a short one.
On this day 20 years ago, 40 people on Flight 93 sacrificed their lives in a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, to save others. One of those leaders was Todd Beamer. His parents, both graduates of Sebring High School. First News reporter Brandon Jacey spoke with Todd's father about his story.
Let's roll are two words that live in the minds and hearts of Todd Morgan Beamer's family and many Americans forever.
Which was a call to action, to do the right thing and to do it at the right time.
That's what David and Peggy Beamer's son Todd and 39 others on Flight 93 bound for San Francisco from New Jersey did.
He was planning to take a red-eye flight home from San Francisco the same evening. He planned to have breakfast with his wife and two little boys on September the 12th.
During the flight, those on the plane turned from passengers to heroes. They recognized their plane had been hijacked and decided to stop the terrorists before they could do more damage.
It wasn't the enemy's plan to crash in a quiet meadow outside of Shanksville, right? And we knew that Todd would have been involved, right? Not sitting quietly in the back of the plane.
David was right. Todd was one of the leaders in stopping the hijackers. He talked with an operator named Lisa Jefferson in Chicago about what to do and when to do it. And that's when the last words from Todd Beamer were heard. Let's roll.
It was also a blessing that it was Lisa Jefferson on the other end of that phone call. But she was trained, she was professional, she was a caring human being.
While losing his son still hurts, Beamer is proud of him for helping stop the terrorists on Flight 93, and he credits his strong faith for helping him cope with the loss. He and his family hope by sharing their story, it teaches people about what happened that day and why faith is important.
We have this set of experiences that we didn't ask for, but we think there's some positive things that can come from us sharing the experiences with other people. So that's why we do it. We don't do it because it's fun.
David said typically they lay low around this time of year. However, this year they're going to a ceremony in Washington and then stopping at a school nearby named after their son, Todd. I'm Brandon Jaycees, WKBN 27 First.
There you go. A little like a thing from his dad telling his son's sacrifice, and he sort of left his parents there for the rest of their lives, right? But at least they get to honor his memory and keep telling people the story of what happened that day. I heard a victim in a different case one time say that when you lose a child as a father, as a mother, as an adult, that he's sort of, your life freezes, that your life, like their life when they died, just freezes because your future has been stolen from you, because your children are your future, right? Yeah, that must be what it must be like for all the people, all the parents from 9/11 and Flight 93. It must feel like their future was frozen for them because they lost, children, sons and daughters, mothers and fathers. So extremely, extremely sad. He lost his YouTube channel? Eric didn't tell me. Is that for real? What did he get? Copyright strike? Yeah, Eric, the doctor. Okay. It seems like it did go. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, Eric. That is oh really? 2 weeks? I saw Eric the other day. He didn't say anything to me. Okay. I'll have to reach out to Eric. Yeah, no, that's odd. I saw him like 2 nights ago, or like maybe like late last week. He didn't say anything to me. That sucks. I don't. Is that what it was from copyright strikes for something? That's really crap, and that's a risk a lot of YouTubers unfortunately take when you're covering live news events and things like this, and we have to borrow clips like this that you see on the screen. You always run the risk of being copyright struck. Unfortunately, it sucks. I got copyright struck. I've been copyright struck before. Luckily, it was only one time. YouTube's really cracking down on using any type of videos that are basically not original content. If it's not original content and you want to monetize, you're gonna get hit. They changed their rules not long ago. I think it was about a month ago. About a month ago, they changed sort of the type of videos that they were targeting. So it wasn't that. I don't know what it was, but I know YouTube's been messing with they've changed a bunch of the rules about a month ago. So send me a link to whatever happened, or I can just reach out to Eric and ask him what's going on. But what is it? Substack? Okay, I don't know what that is. Isn't Substack for like typing though? Someone just send me a link about it. I'll read it after. Oh, okay, here. Yeah, email it to me. That's sad. I'm sorry, buddy. That's really crap to hear. All right. Let's see if we have any updates to the hunt for the killer, for this apparent deranged person who wants to shoot people like Charlie Kirk. Let's see if we can find what's going on at the minute. So the Daily Mail just had an article that came up. It's a brand new article. They're saying the shooter who killed Charlie Kirk is no amateur. Experts have said after footage of the suspect emerged showing him limping towards the college campus, possibly with his rifle hidden down his jeans. That definitely denotes someone with a lot of experience, that they knew how to hide a gun in their pants. I reckon we had to reach out to experts to find that out. As the vast manhunt for the shooter stretched into its third day, authorities said their suspect is a college-age male with a high level of proficiency in handling firearms and a likely familiarity with university campus in Utah. They say new video recorded just before the assassination shows the suspect limping through a quiet neighborhood towards the campus where Kirk was shot. He is seen hobbling across the street while appearing to keep his hand in his pocket. And yeah, I mean, do you guys think that means he's a professional? I don't know if that means. Well, I've heard two different opinions. One from a military sniper who said it was definitely an amateur because of the way he shot Kirk. Now we're getting the opposite opinion saying, oh, no, it's definitely a pro. This is definitely a pro. Yeah, I don't think anyone knows anything. I think everyone's just trying to generate clicks. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to sell bullshit in giant 5-pound packets. That's what they're trying to do. Let's see. Let's see if we've got any updates here. Yeah, no updates. I like this one too. They have this other article and it's like, I've analyzed Charlie Kirk's guards' mysterious hand signals, and as a top cop, I know exactly what they're doing. Yeah, they're directing aircrafts. That's what they're doing. You know, you see those guys on the tarmac and they're like, hey, back, this way, this way. That's what they're doing. They're trying to direct a plane to land. I don't know how you all missed that, but that's exactly what's going on. I don't think we needed a Daily Mail article to tell us all that. No, I don't know what they're doing. The guy just said it's something like, oh, they're saying okay or something. So maybe that's what they're doing. All right. Yeah, no updates this early in the morning. I would have expected more press conferences throughout the day. Sometimes when these big events happen, you get a press conference like every few hours. But since Charlie was shot, we've sort of only had 1 or 2 press conferences a day. Where they've not been doing them sort of every few hours. Not the big ones anyway. They've done a few smaller ones, but not these large ones. So I'm just trying to see if we have a better update for you. Yeah, nothing on there. Let me check out if there's anything going on in other places. No, I'm not seeing anything this morning. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything, groundbreaking this morning to give to you. Just that the hunt for that sniper continues, trying to track him down. I mean, it's already been a bunch of time, Imagine all the places you could get to from Utah in, since that shooting happened. So they were probably swatting flies. That's exactly what's going on. Wendy R said, "Do not believe he was a pro, just a disturbed guy hell-bent on his assassination plan." Yeah. Marilyn said, "I heard the bullet deflected off his bulletproof vest into his neck." I don't know if I've seen anyone actually confirm that he was wearing any body armor. I haven't seen anyone confirm that at all. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. He's had death threats before, but I've not seen anyone do that. Okay. Yeah, what are you guys sending me an email? Okay. I don't understand how it works. Do you have to sort of subscribe to him to be able to, can you upload videos on this platform and he's going to upload the videos on there? I'll ask him how it works. But thanks for sending me the links to Eric's thing. Pretty brutal. Woman still said, anything new with Aaron or anyone else? I don't have anything new for Aaron right now. Aaron Patterson has been sentenced for her crimes. She has 28 days to appeal. That 28-day period will end on the 6th of October. So I would expect between now and the 6th of October, we will see that appeal filed for Aaron Patterson. Anything new on anyone else? There is a hearing coming up for Isla Bell that we're looking at. And I just applied to go into another trial, which was this one. I'm waiting on, so I've done my application and I'm waiting to see if I get into it. So it's this one here, the Hak Young Lee trial. And this is the one where the two children were found in suitcases. The mother is accused of putting them in the suitcases, putting them in a storage locker, and then fleeing the country. Fleeing the country. And after that point, she left the country. The storage unit went unpaid. The storage locker company tried to recoup the cost, sold the contents of the locker, and people bought it, took these suitcases home, and went to open them and found deceased children in them. Hold on. All right, sorry about that. Yes, chronic pain is horrible. Yeah, I did see. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know if we talked about it on this channel yet. Aaron Patterson's ex-husband, estranged husband, whatever you want to call it, Simon, he is doing a podcast, and apparently it's going to tell his side of the story. I don't know when that's going to happen, but that was in the paper earlier this week, so that will happen at some point. Yeah, that story is pretty brutal. So I have applied to be given access to this trial. The New Zealand system works a little bit differently to Australia, and you have to literally apply. And when you apply, it goes to certain people within the trial, and they have to approve you getting that information to report to your viewers. So a little bit different to how it works in Australia, and we'll see. My application is in. I hope I'm given access so I can report to you all what's going on within this trial. The trial is expected to last about another 2 weeks from today. So this week was the first week. It started on Monday, and it's supposed to go for about another 2 or so weeks on this particular trial. Yeah. So what they're trying to prove in this one is premeditation. She is arguing that she is not guilty by reason of insanity, and the Crown's trying to prove that it was actually premeditated and she knew exactly what was going on when she killed her children. So we'll see. I hope to be bringing you that trial from about Monday. Hopefully, if we get into the trial and they approve my application, I hope to be doing that from Monday for you all. Chipmunk said, "Wonder if that was their first locker purchase. That would traumatize me." I don't know. Hopefully, that information is in the trial documents, and I'll be able to tell you. Gracie said, "I mean, Desi Freeman about his neighbors in moving next door." Um, the Desi Freeman thing's gone very quiet, especially like I live in Victoria. It's gone very quiet now. It's almost, what is it, 3-4 weeks since it happened. Since they announced that $1 million reward, it's sort of just petered out. No one's talking about it. There's not a lot of new articles. I'm not even sure if the police are still up there or not. So yeah, it's been a bit weird. JDR, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you, JDR. Good to see you all. Glad you guys could be here this morning. I appreciate it. I know it's a weird time. We got caught up doing something, and unfortunately, couldn't be on it like our normal time, which is like midnight. So, yeah. Hold on. How about the pretty girl they found in the filthy junk house? The pretty girl they found in the junk house. Oh, you guys would have to give me a bit more than that. It's not. I know. You know, like when you sort of can grasp it, and you're like, I see it, but I can't get to the memory. It's like I know. I sort of know what you're talking about, but I need more than that. Yep, quiet and $1 million, and the USA has a 150K reward for Charlie. Yeah. That's a lot of money, life-changing money. Wendy asked, "What a shocking thing to discover!" Right? I actually did this when it first broke in New Zealand at the time, and yeah, here, Hak Young Lee is accused of murdering her children, 8-year-old Yuna and 6-year-old Minu, and leaving their remains in suitcases at a storage facility in Auckland. Miss Lee's husband, Ian, the children's father, passed away in 2017 after being diagnosed with cancer. His death, Miss Lee has argued, sparked a descent into madness that made her not guilty by reason of insanity. However, the Crown told the jury this week her actions, including hiring the unit, hiding the bodies, changing her name, and leaving New Zealand for South Korea, showed she knew what she was doing was wrong. This week, a jury heard more details about the family dynamic both during Ian's cancer treatment and in the aftermath of his death. So we will bring you more on that one, hopefully beginning on Monday. There's a photo of her in court this week. Simon was saying, why are people interested? I was at the Dandenong Hospital at the same time as Aaron Patterson's family, and Monash Clayton is my local hospital. Monash Clayton is my local hospital as well. Monash Clayton's not far from me. We both have extensive medical histories with that hospital, and we have been there a lot. Werner Steele said, I'm so bad with names. Who was flying to live with her boyfriend? Oh, yeah, the girl in Queensland. Yeah, now I know who you're talking about. I don't think we've had much of an update. Yeah, Phoebe Bishop. Phoebe Bishop. I don't think there's been a lot of updates in Phoebe Bishop's case since we last covered it. Let me double check. Actually, there's a little bit of news that happened when I was in trial. There was a third person that was charged over it, but I think I brought you that information at the time. Here, it was in the 2nd of July.
A third person has been charged in connection with the murder and disappearance of Queensland teenager Phoebe Bishop. Police say Kieran Daniel Mittelhauser used Phoebe's phone and her bank card to interfere with the police investigation. They allege the two previously charged over her disappearance used the 30-year-old man to interfere.
There you go. So he was actually messing around with the phones, making it seem like she was in a different location, and they arrested him for basically assisting during the fact in her murder. Yeah, I think it's 2 men and a woman total. So it's 3 of them now, 3. But there you go. Let's see. Let me check on my notes here. Sorry, it's a bit of a funny night. No, there you go. There you go. I'm not going to change that photo. That was a very random pause, wasn't it? All right, here you go. Yeah. There's the people responsible. There's Tanika and James Wood and Tanika Bromley. Both pig dogs, both of them. Both pig dogs. And yeah, they're all arrested for her murder, Phoebe Bishop. And then the third person, the male. Yes. What you're talking about, yes. All right, let me head over here. Let me see if I got any other stories for you. I'm sort of just hanging out until my dinner's ready. We're about to eat our dinner, so all right. Yeah, let's go to Texas. Let's go to Texas if we can. All right, let's go to Texas. I want to talk about a missing woman named Monica Sanford, and I am going to bring this up for you. Yeah, I'm going to take you to NBC Dallas Fort Worth for this new case, if it'll play. Yeah, here we go.
Desperate search for a Wise County woman who vanished more than 2 weeks ago. Her family is fearing the worst because of what she left behind and because of a person of interest is in custody. Monica Sanford was last seen in Bridgeport, about 50 miles northwest of Fort Worth. Here's NBC5's Maria Guerrero.
Please help me find my sister.
Clutching on to hope.
And I really don't want to think about it because I think something really bad happened to her. And I really don't want to go there.
Darla Hastings.
I'm sorry.
Can only pray she's wrong.
I'm really hoping that someone can provide some information that will lead to us finding her. Because I believe somebody knows something.
Her only sibling, Monica Sanford, has been missing since Saturday, August 23rd. Last seen on this sprawling property along Cuba Road in Bridgeport, where she lives and was with friends, failing to call her daughter on her birthday days later.
She wouldn't just leave like that and not contact us, and she wouldn't leave her dog.
And because of that, we don't think she left on her own.
Wise County Deputy Sheriff Eric Debus says the 48-year-old's disappearance is suspicious.
Is it the same thing as saying that you believe foul play is involved?
You could say that, yes, ma'am. We believe she did not intentionally leave that property on her own.
Despite multiple ground, water, and air searches across the 200-plus acre property, there's no sign of her.
From what I heard, that her and the ex-boyfriend left to go fishing and camping, and that only the ex-boyfriend returned, and then her car was found in the back of the field.
The property owner's son told NBC5 off camera Sanford left on her own and not with her ex. The sheriff's office can only confirm a man connected to Sanford is in custody.
We have several people that you would consider persons of interest. He just happens to be in our custody on another charge.
Monica Sanford is 48, 5'7", about 200 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes.
It's a tough question, but do you believe she's alive?
Well, we hope so. We pray that she is, but I do not know.
She means something to us, and we miss her, and we love her, and we want to bring her home. Please, please help us do that.
Definitely seems like the ex-boyfriend has something to do with this. I mean, the fact that all her belongings, including her dog, are at home. She went camping with her ex-boyfriend and only he returned. Seems like a story we have heard before. Seems like one that we have definitely, with another person seen a million times before. Women who seem to leave all objects in their home and they just mysteriously disappear off the face of the planet. I think this is not difficult to find out what happened here. Police said that Sanford had been staying in a trailer off Cuba Road in Bridgeport when her car was found in the back of the property. The Fort Worth Star-Telegram reports that Chief Deputy Eric DeBus said authorities became concerned when they noticed Sanford left her belongings behind, including her dog. The dog is her world. Like her kids are all adult, all grown. She is not married, and that's her dog. So her dog is her world. That is her. She sleeps with that dog. That dog is everything to her. And my sister would never ever leave that dog. She would definitely leave her car before she'd leave that dog. Hastings added that she doesn't believe her sister is still alive. She said, I don't think my sister is alive anymore because if she was, she would not ignore us. She wouldn't not reach out. She would not miss Destiny's birthday. Police said they have a person of interest in custody on unrelated charges. Her sister says, I was told her and her ex-boyfriend left at 10 p.m. on the 23rd and that only the ex-boyfriend returned the next day. According to Hastings, Texas EquiSearch is offering a reward up to $5,000 for information that leads to Sanford's whereabouts. She says, I don't know where she is, but wherever she's at right now, she doesn't deserve to be there. She really doesn't deserve to be there. She deserves to be with my mother. Anyone with information is urged to contact Texas Crime Stoppers tip line at 800-643-TIPS or online at p3tips.com. So there you go. I think that's a very I think the cops already have a pretty good idea of what happened to her. It sounds like the ex-boyfriend has unfortunately hurt her. Just like her sister says, they do not think she is alive. They definitely think something tragic has happened to her. They just need to find her and bring her back for burial. So, a very awful case. You can see how distraught her family are in that video we just played. Hopefully, someone can help track her down. To have her missing for so long is awful. Really, really awful. Let me see if I can go to a different station and get you more information on her.
Its office believes foul play may be involved in the disappearance of a mother. Monica Sanford was last seen 2 weeks ago. Her family fears the worst. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager spoke to the missing woman's sister tonight. Peyton.
Stephen, this Wise County family tells me they became concerned after not hearing from 48-year-old Monica Sanford for a few days. That's when they immediately filed a missing persons report with the Wise County Sheriff's Office. Now, investigators on the case now believe that foul play is involved due to the fact that Monica Sanford left behind her car, all of her belongings, and most importantly, her dog.
But it's another day where we've not heard from her. No one has seen her.
Any sign of hope for Darla Hastings is dwindling. Her older sister, 48-year-old Monica Sanford, has been missing for more than 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
Hastings became extremely concerned when Sanford didn't call or text her own daughter on her birthday.
I don't think my sister's alive anymore. Because if she was, she would not ignore us. She would not reach out. She would not miss Destiny's birthday. I'm sorry.
Sanford was temporarily staying in this back trailer off Cuba Road in Bridgeport, part of Wise County. It's a large property that the Wise County Sheriff's Office says its own deputies and the Texas Rangers have searched using drones, canines, and sonar technology. But so far, Sanford hasn't been found. Her vehicle was abandoned up against this fence in the back of the property, part of the reason detectives believe foul play was involved.
I was told that her and her ex-boyfriend left approximately around 10 o'clock on the 23rd and that only the ex-boyfriend returned the next day.
Who Sanford was last seen with is still part of the investigation, according to the Wise County Sheriff's Office. Investigators do confirm they have a person of interest in custody on unrelated charges, but wouldn't expand on who that is or their relation to Sanford. No charges have been filed related to Sanford's disappearance. Hastings with this plea to the public for help.
She means something to me. She means something to her children. No matter how little or insignificant you think it may be, it very well may be what they need to find her and locate her and bring her back. And if nothing else, give us closure.
Darla Hastings, the sister, tells me she did reach out to Texas EquiSearch for help, and now Texas EquiSearch is offering a $5,000 reward for any information in finding Monica Sanford. We'll keep you posted.
To hear her sister be so distraught at describing what she thinks happened to her sister is heartbreaking to watch. It really is. You know, the fact that the sister is almost pretty sure that she's not alive. I don't know what it would be like to have to reconcile that reality in your head and be like, I know my sister is dead, but I'm unable to bring her home because of what some asshole has done to her. You know, it's a nightmare situation for that family. It really is. Poor lady, poor lady. I mean, I'm glad that they have the guy in jail. He is being held on an unrelated charge. They just need to find out where she is. She can't be too far away. I don't think the police think that she's all that far away either. And it seems deliberate and targeted to go out on a camping trip and only return like with the mail, and she didn't come back. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory what happened to this poor lady. Geez. So her name is Monica Sanford. She's 48 years old. She went missing on August 25th, and she was last seen the day before, which was August 24th. They're saying that she lived in the suburb of Bridgeport in Texas, and all her belongings were in her trailer, leading people to believe that she would never leave without those belongings, like her dog. Her dog was left in that trailer and was not with her. So, yeah, I think the family members are unfortunately very correct in that she's probably not alive. You know, missing a birthday party for a family member and all these type of things, makes it very, very hard to believe anything of the contrary about what happened to her. So I hope they'll be able to find that lady and bring her home and charge the person responsible for her death. You know, hopefully give her family a way to bury her. All right, my dinner is actually ready, so I'm gonna wind up. I'm sorry it was so late at night today, guys. I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be on at a more normal time around midnight Eastern. I don't have anything to do all weekend, so we're going to hang out together this weekend. On Saturday night, it'll be the first episode of the new season of Cold Justice. So at 10 p.m. on Saturday night, me and all of you guys are going to sit down and we're going to dive into the case. I'm going to pull out all the court documents, all the crime scene evidence, and we're going to actually tell you the behind the scenes story to the episode on Oxygen. So we're going to go through the entire episode, the entire case, and we're going to break it down. So that'll be fun. We haven't done that in about a year and a half. I am amped for a new season of Cold Justice. I've been waiting a long time, and we've done this before. We did it for season 7, and we're going to be doing it for season 8 this weekend. So it should be a lot of fun. Thank you, Chipmunk. I appreciate it. Yeah, all weekend. I know the episodes have been a little sporadic lately, and it's just because of how things are at the moment. It's not much I can do about it. It's when my life gets a bit more stable again, and we're back into that routine where it's like 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. You will get the sort of 7 or 9 episodes of the podcast every week. But right now, with her recovery and everything that's going on with doctor's visits and checkups and this and that, it's making everything a little disjointed, and I'm trying to get on as much as I can each week. But with that, if you could help the channel and hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, I would appreciate it. And for the people who support this channel with donations, I know it's been a little short on episodes recently, but if you could continue to support the channel right now, I would appreciate it. I think I've shown you over the last 3 years that when I can do it, I give you guys more than 7 episodes every week. If I can do 14, I'll do it. Yeah, I would appreciate it. Wendy R said, "Thank you for talking with us, Ping." I will. Yes, hopefully she does have a nice weekend. That would be good. Good to see you guys. So tomorrow night I'll be back. That'll be Friday night for you guys. That's the last night that Web Sleuths will be doing a show this week. So you'll just have me for Saturday and Sunday until they return on Monday. So, but Saturday night, book that in about 10 p.m. 10 p.m. About 10 p.m. or so. I'll be on maybe 10:30 or something, and we will go through the entire new episode. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, there is a show called Cold Justice, which airs on the Oxygen Network, and it is about cold cases that are cold cases. They're not being solved. Cold Justice comes in, and they try and solve these cold cases with new investigative techniques and going over the case again, trying to solve them in about a week. They're normally there about a week of in each episode, and they try and add manpower to the investigation and find new witnesses and dig up new evidence, take new statements from people, track down neighbors that were around at the time. So it's a great show. They've had a lot of arrests out of it, some high profile ones that have happened. It's one of the greatest shows in true crime, and makes a big difference for people. Tries to help victims' families. So that's why I like it, because it tries to end the suffering for victims' families. All right. I'll be back tomorrow night, midnight Eastern. Hopefully, by the time I come back tomorrow night, there'll be an update for the manhunt, and it would be over, and then they have the person in custody. That's what I hope for today in the US. Charlie Kirk's killer is located. That's what I want to see. By the time I see you guys tomorrow, that's what I want. Charlie Kirk's killer to be caught and in custody, and for this manhunt to be done. so that everyone can get on to the memorial part of this that's going to happen next week. All right. I love you all. Peace out, everyone. Have a great day out there in America. Have a great Friday, all of you. And I'll see you tonight, sort of tonight. I'll see you tonight at 10 p.m. for another episode, okay? Not 10 p.m., midnight. I'll see you at midnight tonight on the Friday. Good night, everyone. Bye. Drew, it should work. Maybe you just have to refresh. But thank you. I appreciate it. Good night, everyone. See you later. Bye.